I wonder why whenever government officials comes to our place to inspect, then they always ask for cooling record, cooling of chicken, cooling of rice, cooling of any food that we prepare. So why they give cooling this much importance? I was thinking, what is the reason behind? Let's find out. Welcome back. My name is Piyush Verma, and today our topic of discussion is cooling. Let's discuss about why cooling is so important in food processing. Cooling is a very important process in food processing. Whenever and whatever we cook, if we don't cool it, then there is a pathogen, there is a bacteria called Bacillus cereus that typically grows in carbohydrate-rich food. All the food that contains carbohydrate, rice, pasta, or any food that contains good amount of carbohydrate, this bacteria tries to grow over there. Before I tell you something about this bacteria, let's see a video which talks about how rice is grown in field, and then we will understand how this pathogen comes to rice grain. As you saw in this video, that rice is grown in a field where a lot of water is there. Bacteria are superficially classified into two categories. I'm saying superficially. Broadly, it is classified into two categories. One is spore former and second one is not a spore former. Bacillus cereus bacteria falls into the category of spore forming bacteria, means it produces spore when condition is not suitable. As you have precisely seen in this video, that when rice is grown in a field, then a lot of water is there. So they are getting all the nutritional aspects. They get water, they get time, they get temperature, they get oxygen, and what happens? They starts to grow where rice grains are there. Now when plants are harvested, that rice grain is harvested, then it comes to the processing area. When it comes to rice processing area, then water is not there, humidity is not there, and then all the rice grains are taken out from there. Now this bacteria, which was apparently present sometime earlier, is not able to grow further, not able to produce toxin over there. Why? Because there is not a sufficient amount of humidity, moisture present over there. So what do? They convert themselves into a spore. Now this spore which is there in rice grain is always there. When you pack that rice in a bag or any sort of sack, if it is packed, that spore is always present together with that rice. Now when you purchase it, that spore is still there. When it comes to kitchen, that spore is still there. When you cook it, that spore is still there in that rice. When we cook this rice, when it comes to our kitchen, and when we cook this rice in water, when we boil it, water goes maximum to 100 degrees centigrade, and 100 degrees centigrade is not sufficient to kill this spore. So even you cook that rice, still that spore is present in your rice. Now when this rice is cooked and you leave it at room temperature for some time, then slowly and gradually temperature goes down. Temperature earlier was 100 degrees centigrade, because in boiling water temperature never goes more than 100 degrees centigrade. So that time it has reached to 100 degrees centigrade, and slowly and gradually temperature will tend to come down. Temperature will come down to 90, 80, 60, 50, 40. Now when temperature is actually 44 to 37 degrees centigrade, this is a range when this spore starts germinating like a plant, like a seed. So this spore starts germinating, and then it gives rise to growth of bacteria. Bacteria comes out from there, and that bacteria again, after some time, if it is kept at room temperature, then it produces toxin in the food. When toxin is produced in the food and you consume that food after some time, whether it is kept in chilled condition or whatever condition, toxin will remain over there. And then when you eat that rice, then you fall sick. If this rice is consumed, which is cooked properly but not cooled properly, and this bacteria actually grown over there and has produced toxin in the food, then you get two different kind of reactions or symptoms. One is called emetic syndrome, and second one is diarrheal syndrome. In emetic syndrome, usually you tend to vomit so much, so your body tries to throw out all the toxin that was ingested in form of rice. So that is first thing. And second one is diarrheal syndrome, where body tries to throw out that toxin through watery stool, loose motion, and then it comes out. And once that toxin is thrown out of the body, then you starts feeling better. So these two symptoms happens. And if body has thrown out lot of water and your body gets dehydrated, then dehydration becomes severe sometimes, and then people fall sick very, very badly. It is very, very important to cool the product, whatever you prepare, whether it is your vegetables, whether it is rice, because carbohydrate is everywhere. Carbohydrate is there in even chili, in all the vegetables, in fruit, in pasta. Most of the product contains carbohydrate, and if carbohydrate is there and if it is not cooled properly, then there is a possibility of this bacteria to be present over there. And if this bacteria under suitable condition where temperature is ambient, enough time is given, moisture is there, then they will tend to multiply, they will produce toxin, and then we will suffer because of toxin production. To prevent from Bacillus cereus food poisoning, we are supposed to do three things. Number one, cool the product. Once your product is prepared, any food is prepared, and if you are not going to serve it immediately, then you are supposed to cool it. Second thing is storage. Once product is cooled, then store it below 5 degrees centigrade. And third one is reheating. Before eating, if you are going to consume that product, then reheat that food properly. Core temperature of that food should reach to 75 degrees centigrade for at least 26 seconds, and this will prevent from Bacillus cereus food poisoning. In hotels and restaurants, we follow two methods to cool down a product. For effective cooling, two methods are used. One is called blast chiller method or blast chill method, and second one is ice bath method. In blast chiller method, we have one equipment called blast chiller. You put your food product inside, and then food will be chilled in certain amount of time. And in ice bath method, you take one container which is filled with ice, you put another container where your food products are there, you put it inside, you keep on stirring, and then temperature goes down slowly and gradually. So these two methods are used. As per government authorities and also international guideline called Codex Alimentarius, only one standard is given, and that is 6 hours rule. When food is hot, then temperature has to come down from 60 degrees centigrade to 20 degrees centigrade in 2 hours time, and from 20 degree or 19 degrees centigrade rather to 5 degrees centigrade in next 4 hours. So in total, temperature has to come down from 60 to 5 degrees centigrade in total 6 hours time. This is the only standard given. There is no separate standard, one for ice bath and one is for blast chiller. No, only one standard is there, and this is the maximum allowed time and temperature. So even if you are using ice bath method, in ice bath also temperature, the same standard will be followed, means temperature has to come down from 60 to 20 degrees centigrade in 2 hours time, and then from 19 degrees centigrade to 5 degrees centigrade in 4 hours time. And if you are following blast chiller method, then in blast chiller method also temperature has to come down from 60 degrees centigrade to 5 degrees centigrade in 6 hours time. But condition applies, condition is same, 60 to 20 in 2 hours and 20 to 5 in 4 hours. If you bring it down from 60 to 5 degrees centigrade in 30 minutes, because quantity of your food product is very less. So if temperature comes down from 60 to 5 in 30 minutes or 1 hour or 1.5 hour or 2 hour, that is absolutely acceptable. But temperature has to come down from 60 to 5 degrees centigrade in 2 hours. Now if you are not able to achieve this target, that means 60 to 20, if it is not coming in 2 hours time, and if it is exceeding, then means you are breaching the standard, and then you are supposed to discard that food item. So what I'm trying to tell you is that temperature for both the standard, same rule applies, whether you are using blast chiller or ice bath.
In the last, to give you a piece of advice, I would suggest you start your cooling process once your product temperature comes down close to 60 degrees centigrade, because above 60 degrees centigrade product is not in danger zone, product is in safe range. So it is a waste of time when you start your cooling process when product temperature is more than 60 degrees centigrade. That means 80 degrees centigrade, 90 degrees centigrade, it's just a waste of time. Better you start your cooling process when your product temperature comes down to 60 degrees centigrade, close to 60 degrees centigrade. You start, and then you will save your time, you will save your effort, and your product will be cooled within a specified period of time.
By now I am sure you must have understood that why cooling is so important in food processing. Whatever food you cook, once it is cooked, and if it is not going to be served immediately, then it is supposed to be cooled immediately. And the same process, whether you are using blast chiller or ice bath, but food temperature has to be brought down to 5 degrees centigrade, and then you should keep it inside chiller, and before usage then you can reheat that food item. This is essential to maintain good food safety standard. See you in the next video. Thank you.